Hi. So, first YouTube video. Kinda nervous. That sounded lame, didn't it? Okay. So, yeah, basically I'm probably just gonna make some videos and post them on YouTube and just see where that takes me. And something to pass the time when I'm sitting here bored in my room. I have a lot of things going on in my head, so it'll probably be nice to, voice them out loud. Have people to talk to about it. And lately I've been feeling very bored. Yeah, pretty sure I said that. Yeah, I've been feeling a lot bored lately. And I don't know, it's just, wow, this is going off to a great start. I feel like I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and I really don't know anyone who wants to hear it exactly, because either they're not interested or I can't carry on a conversation with them, if that makes sense. I don't know. Hopefully it makes sense over time. The one thing you'll learn about me from watching these videos is that I probably don't make sense half the time. Yeah. But beside the point. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new show, Chucky. And because well, technically right now as I'm filming this video, it's Wednesday day. So as of yesterday, the 5th episode came out. And honestly, it was really good. It was really good. So I'm going to talk about, my opinions on the show based on the first 5 episodes. There's 3 more episodes left, and I'm low-key very mad about that. This show is so good, you guys. Y'all, it is so good. And the fact there's only 3 episodes left, and it's just starting to get really good is... But fingers crossed that it gets renewed for a season 2, because it needs to, because it's that good. And hopefully if it gets renewed for a season 2, then maybe they'll get more episodes. Hopefully. Fingers crossed again. So, basically, I'm just going to talk about that, and I'm probably going to, draw while I'm talking, help me get my mind focused, if that makes sense. Again, like I said earlier, I probably don't make sense half the time, so that's just something you're going to learn real quickly about me. Yeah. Okay. And so, the first thing I want to talk about with the Chucky show is the characters. Now, okay, so I would have to say so far that my favorite character of the show is definitely Jake. And not just because he's the main character, but because, I don't know why, but something about him is just so interesting. He's like this outcasty kind of person. He's very artistic in a very strange way, which I can respect a lot. So, basically, Jake finds the good guy doll at a yard sale, and he originally buys it to, tear it apart to use it for a sculpture and stuff like that. And yeah, homeboy's in for a rude reckoning when he realizes that the damn doll's alive. Yeah. Which sets off a chain of events consisting of murders and... yeah, murders. That's all I can really say is murders. That's literally all that happens is, Chucky's going around killing people. And the crazy thing is, the people he's killing half the time, you don't really feel bad for them. Because, so far he's murdered, dang, how many people has he murdered so far in the show? In current day, because they jump back and forth between, the 60s, 50s, and 80s, I guess. But, in current day, he's killed, 3 or 4 people. Yeah, 3 or 4 people. And 2 of them kind of had it coming. They were complete morons and just downright jerks. So they kind of had it coming. Okay, so basically, yeah. They had it coming. I'm trying to think of a reason to not say that, but honestly, they had it coming. So, anyway. My second favorite character has to be Devin now. I'm going to get to those two people, both Jake and Devin, later on in the video. But I think so far my least favorite character has to be Lexi. Like, don't get me wrong, she's starting to come around, but in the beginning, she was a total asshat. Like, there's no other way to sugarcoat that. She was horrible, especially in what episode was the Halloween episode? Probably sure what that. All right, well, basically in the Halloween episode, so she does something really messed up. She dresses up as Jake's dad, who was killed by Chucky in the first episode. Deserved it again because he was an abusive, alcoholic father who beat his child because he was literally gay. Yeah, Father of the Year award, am I right? Anyway, so the father is beating Jake, and so Chucky takes it upon himself to kill him by making it seem that the dad was drunk and spilled some, like, you know, alcohol on some electric wires and fried himself. And later on in the Halloween episode, Lexi dresses up as the dad, and she starts, like, you know, pretending like she's being shocked in front of everybody. And Jake's there, and it's just horrible. Just disgusting. Anyway, the characters of this show, like, jump back and forth from being, like, really likable to annoying to you wanting to see them dead. And that's kind of where Lexi is right now. Like, originally you would just really hope Chucky would gut her open like a fish. But now you're like, you can see the redeemingness starting to come through. You can definitely see that she's starting to realize that she's been a bit of a jerk lately. And now, you know, she needs to change. But basically that. Now, the rest of the characters, I'm gonna say this. Chucky is always amazing. It's always nice to see him again. When I tell you I grew up watching the Chucky films, so Chucky's always been a fan favorite of mine. Like, he is up there with, like, some of the other famous slashers, like, you know, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Leatherface, all those good guys. Did I really just say good guys? Not good guys, bad guys, but my favorites nonetheless. Anyway, so it's always good seeing him again, and I really like how the show is doing him with, like, you know, introducing, like, his origin, his backstory, like, what made him what he is now. And I especially love how they're not trying to make it seem like, oh, you know, something bad happened to him in his life that made him fall down his path. They're going for more of he was just born this way. And now, usually I don't like the whole, like, you know, people are born evil, because, like, I don't really believe that. I feel like there has to be, like, a certain thing or things, multiple things really, that have to happen to you in life to really make you want to fall down a path that leads you down a very dark road. But, you know, not everyone thinks the same. And so, who am I to really question what they're going to think? But how they're doing it with Chucky in the show is very interesting. Especially in the episode where we see him as a little kid, and we see that his very first kill, spoilers if you don't know, we see that his very first kill is his own mother, because he was watching his father get killed by a serial killer. So while him and his mom are hiding in a closet, he literally cuts her throat open, and when the killer finds him, he's like, good job, kid. Yeah, you got guts. And I'm like, this boy's insane. Anyway, but yeah. And yeah, we're also bringing back some other fan favorites like Tiffany. Like, when I tell you Tiffany, I think my very first, no, not very first, one of my earlier crushes was definitely Tiffany from Bride of Chucky, because honestly, she was gorgeous. Just freaking gorgeous. And for some reason, her in the doll form was even more hotter. I don't know what that says about me, but yeah. Though I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of like the design for the Tiffany doll that they had in Seed of Chucky more than I like the one for Bride of Chucky. I feel like the Seed of Chucky Tiffany was a lot more cleaner than the Bride of Chucky one. And it looked more, what say this? It looked more realistic to me. I know that probably doesn't make sense. But like, the Tiffany doll from the Chucky, Bride of Chucky film, it looked good, but it also looked very fake. Like, I didn't really believe that that was a doll because of how weird it looked. Especially when you look at how it looked before she had the makeover and then afterwards. I'm like, okay, this really does not look real at all. But the one in the Syfy Chucky film looks better, in my opinion. Yeah, we also brought back Nika, who... Okay, so here's the thing about Nika's character, y'all. So if you watched the movie Untitled Chucky, then you know that at the end of it, again, spoilers, that Nika was possessed by Chucky. And so you automatically think that, okay, so that means her soul has left her body, Chucky's taken over now, Nika's dead. But in the 5th episode, we find out that Nika's apparently still alive inside of her body. And so, in other words, Chucky and Nika are sharing the same body now. And we see a moment where Nika kind of like, comes out and she has a little bit of control over the body. But then, like, once again, can't talk today. Once again, Chucky takes over the body and Nika is forced back inside. So I'm really wondering how they're going to handle that, because if that is the case, then maybe there's a possible chance that Nika could regain her body again. I'm not going to lie to you, I loved Nika back in Curse of Chucky. I thought she was a really good final girl, especially one who was in a wheelchair. Like, because most of the time in horror movies and stuff like that, when you see like people in wheelchairs, like, you could pretty much assure that they're probably going to be like one of the people who are going to get offed real fast and real quickly. But, she shows some real survival instincts, so good for her. So hopefully those survival instincts will kick back in and, she'll take down Chucky and get her body back. Okay, next I want to talk about, like, the legacy of Chucky and how the show is really helping that out. Now, Chucky is one of those more famous, iconic horror movie killer. Or like I said, or like, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, all them. He's up there. He's been around since the 80s, because the very first film came out back, I think, like 1986, 84, 85? 1988. That's what it was, 1988. I'm for positive sure it was 1988. Yeah, because, like, the rest of them came out in the 90s. Except for the more current ones. But yeah. So, like, he's introduced very... Oh my god, why can I not talk? This video is a mess. I'm sorry. Okay, so he was introduced in the 80s, in the very first Child's Play film, and he's introduced as, like, this supernaturally possessed doll who inhabits the soul of a very popular children's toy, and it ends up in the hands of a young child by the name of Andy Barkley. It's his birthday, his mom wanted to get him something nice, and before you know it, all hell breaks loose. The doll's up here killing people. Andy's trying to tell people, like, Chucky's doing it, but, he's an 8-year-old kid. No one's gonna believe him. That's one thing that I know about the Chucky films, though, is, like, a lot of people constantly want to say, oh, Chucky did it, oh, Chucky did it. I'm like, y'all of course, you're trying to tell a whole bunch of adults, a bunch of grown people with no imagination whatsoever, that a children's doll is up here killing folks. Like, do you hear yourself when you talk? You gotta realize that no one is going to believe you about this doll without some hard evidence. Like, literally, unless you have a video of Chucky beating someone to death with a baseball bat or chopping someone's head off with an axe, no one is gonna believe you, because they're gonna think you're making it up. Especially if it's coming from an 8-year-old child. They're really not gonna believe then. So, like, that's the one that always annoyed me about the Chucky series, is that how all these characters are like, oh, he's alive, you gotta kill him. Like, yeah, no. Here's what you need to do. You need to get some hard-on evidence, or you need to take care of this yourself, because I'm sorry, but no one is going to believe you without some evidence. And they want to act like, why is no one believing me? Why is no one believing me? Like, because it sounds ridiculous. No one is going to believe this because it sounds so freaking ridiculous. It's just, I don't know, it's just annoying. Anyway, so basically, the purpose of Chucky is that he has to place his soul into the body of a human in order to become human again, basically. And he has to do it fast, because if he doesn't, he's gonna get stuck in that body forever. And, all this leads to a bunch of fighting and multiple more deaths. And, before you know it, Chucky's dead. he's not dead, because, you know, we get a lot more sequels. We get Child's Play 2, 3, then Bride of Chucky, Sea of Chucky, Call of Chucky, Curse of Chucky. That was out of order, but you know what I mean. Anyway, and the Child's Play legacy spawns all the way back to the 80s and has a whole bunch of good movies. I'm trying to remember what was my favorite one out of all of them. I think maybe Bride of Chucky may have been my favorite, or I think it was either Sea of Chucky was my favorite movie or Bride of Chucky was my favorite movie. I'm gonna go with Sea of Chucky was my favorite. I literally made a list of this like a couple months back about which one was my favorite film. I think it was Sea of Chucky. Yeah, Bride of Chucky was like next. But yeah, it's introduced the world to Chucky, and he has completely left a mark on this world, that's for sure. Cause like, he's just so much popular that whenever anyone like just like talks about him, like you automatically know who they're talking about. If someone talks about Chucky, like you already know the killer doll. So it doesn't surprise me that they made a TV show about him, because like after so many years of movies and so many people going crazy over this character and always wanting to see more and more and more of him, it makes sense that they would do something that would like allow people to see more of him without having to like, you know, give it to the people in a very quick way. Like in the movies, like you only have him for like an hour or two, but with the TV show, like you have weeks and weeks and weeks of him. Like every Tuesday you can watch him, and like I said, the show gets picked up for season 2. We could probably see more of him in the future. But yeah, it's a fun little thing. And to me, like the legacy of Chucky is like, how do I say this? It's an homage to like, you know, the classic horror, or like, okay, a little fun fact about me. I'm a real big fan of like more classical horror movie. Because like, you know, the ones that came out like in the 70s and the 80s. Like the earlier stuff of like Scream, which came out in the 90s. Friday the 13th, which came out in the 80s. Nightmare on Elm Street came out in the 80s. Leatherface came out in the 70s. All that good stuff. Because like nowadays you really don't see that type of classic horror movie anymore. Like it's all either remakes or reboots, or like people trying to like either make recreations of it by having direct sequels. Now, don't get me wrong, I love me a good direct sequel to original horror movies. One of the best direct horror movie sequels to an original film was definitely the Halloween film that came out in 2018, which was the direct sequel to the 1978 one. Really good. But like at the same time, while they're trying to recapture some of the horror and like the amazingness of that was the original film, they're doing it, but not completely fully. Like you can definitely feel the nostalgia from it, but at the same time, like it's not the same. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on the whole legacy of Chucky. I feel like this show is really helping expand that, and hopefully this will continue to help shape it, and hopefully lots of people in the upcoming years will be able to enjoy Chucky as much as everyone else did, especially those who really grew up with Chucky like back in the 80s and have watched him like only grow more and more popular as the years went by and stuff. Alright, next I want to talk about the LGBT-ness in the new Chucky series. Now, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. What really shocked me, and I did not find this out until literally I think a week before the show premiered, because I really didn't know that much about the show. I mean, I've seen the trailers and stuff like that, but I didn't like really know like the full gist of what was going on in the show. I don't think anyone really did until like the episode started premiering. But apparently the main character is gay, and I'm like, a gay character in a horror movie series? I'm sorry, but like I legit thought that he's gonna die. He's gonna die, because like I'm trying to figure out how to say this without laughing, but like it seems when it comes to like horror movies, the one character you definitely will expect probably to die is like the gay characters. Like they're right up there with like the black characters who are always dying, even though they're literally the smartest people in the movies. Like, but that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother video. But like they always end up either dying or they're the sidekick to the straight male character. did I say straight male character? I meant the straight character. Let's jump in. There's a whole bunch more female survivors in these films, and good for them. Because they deserve it. Because let's be honest. Honestly, okay, little side note. I don't know why, but I've been thinking a lot more about how, like, we always have, like, these final girls, and you don't really see that many final guys. Like, if they're all final guys, chances are they're kind of, like, with, like, the final girls. And honestly, I was thinking about that for a while, and like, why is that? But for some reason, it just seems that, like, to me, how do I say this without sounding stupid? This whole video is a mess. I don't know if you've noticed so far, but this whole video is a mess. Oh my god. I'm gonna look back on this and cringe so hard. But anyway, like I'm saying, with final girls, for some reason, like, the girls always seem to have, like, a more, I wouldn't say level-headed, because there have been some final girls who have been, like, complete crazy, like Sally from Texas Chainsaw Massacre by the end of the film. But, like, for some reason, they always seem to outsmart the killer. Because, like, they have, I don't know, like, it's like they sense what to do right in that moment, while majority of the guys are just like, what the hell? What am I doing? What's going on? Like, they try to fight the killer, they try to do some kind of stupidness that ends up getting them killed in the end, which, annoying. But for some reason, like, all the girls seem like they know exactly what to do in this situation, even if that's just running and screaming your lungs off. But, you know, like I said, good for them. They deserve it at this point. Especially if they're the character who's going through a lot of stuff in the film, they definitely deserve to survive to the end. Whew, voice again, going. Oh my god, like 21 minutes into this video and I feel like I'm stuttering a lot. I probably am stuttering and don't realize it. I'm gonna watch this video over again and be like, crap, I hate my life. But yeah, back to the LGBT in the show. I thought that was actually really good for them to have an LGBT character be like the main person. Like I said, you always see them either as sidekicks or dying or something like that. So having like an LGBT character as the main show headliner person was really good on their part. Especially because of the fact that, okay, so the main character, Jake, is 14. And like I said, he's gay. You don't really see that many shows where, like, younger characters are LGBT now, you know, a part of the LGBT community. So, because usually, like, the older people, like, you know, 17, 18, 16, all kinds of stuff. But now we have, like, a 14-year-old, and fun fact, the actor who plays him is 15. 15. I was shocked by that. This boy does not look like he's 15. I'm sorry. He does not look like he's 15. And I legit thought he was 18. I'm never gonna lie. He wasn't. I looked at him, I was like, 15. Jesus Christ. Yeah, a lot of the characters are actually closer to the age that they play on the show. So that was, like, interesting how the actors are, like, because, like, you know how, like, a lot of times when it comes to shows, like, the characters and the actors' age don't add up. Like, you have 35-year-olds playing freaking 16-year-olds in high school. So seeing them actually cast people around the exact age is phenomenal to me. Probably does a whole bunch. It's probably phenomenal to whole. Oh my god, I cannot talk. It is probably phenomenal to everyone else as well. I cannot talk. Anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, Jake. So basically, Jake is gay, and that's one of the main things about him that makes him feel like, you know, out of place for the time being. Because, like, it feels like he's slowly becoming more accepting of that, especially now that he's not living under his abusive father anymore. And he has a crush on Devin, who is also gay. And that's one of the main things about Jake, is that, like, he has, like, these feelings for Devin, and he's scared to admit them. He doesn't know how Devin's gonna react. He probably doesn't even know if Devin likes him like that. And that's also been, like, one of, like, the things, like, you can see in the earlier episodes. That's, like, one of the things he was kind of ashamed of himself, especially when people constantly made, like, jokes about him being gay, like his cousin did in the first episode when they were at the dinner table, which honestly I wanted to punch him so hard for that. And then later on, same episode, when Lexi's like standing in front of the entire school of the talent show, and she's making those little snide little comments that like, if you know, you know. And I'm like, when is Chucky gonna cut you open? Just when is he gonna cut you open? At this point, it's literally a blessing right now if Chucky would kill you on that stage. Well, technically he did kill her on that stage, but not in the way we wanted her to, but in the way we needed him to. Because that man dragged her to filth. It's hilarious. Anyway. So, basically, trying to get my thoughts together. I wrote half of this down so I can, like, keep myself on track, and it's not helping. But yeah. That's what I really liked about this show, especially in the last episode when they finally kissed. Again, good for them. They deserve it. Jake deserves it, especially after all the hell he has been doing the last 5 episodes. He deserves it, and especially since he's going to be suffering some more stuff now that Chucky's technically not dead and is coming back for the vengeance. But yeah, he definitely see it. And, okay, so here's the thing about the age when it comes to the characters, right? So, like, this isn't really the first time you've seen, like, ghetto. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if y'all heard that, but ghetto. Anyway. So, like, this isn't the first time you've seen, like, young people portraying younger characters who are a part of the LGBT community. I think, like, one of the, like, more popular, well-known examples is that of The Fosters. I don't know if y'all watched The Fosters. I watched The Fosters. It's really good. The spin-off show, Good Trouble. Perfect. Callie and Mariana. Oh my god, did I really just butcher her name? Callie and Mariana. God. Love them to bits. Can't wait to see more of that show if it ever comes back on. I think they got renewed for another season. I'm not sure, but anyway, I love it. But anyway, back to The Fosters. Okay, so the characters of... They were literally in my head. Jude and Connor. They made history as being one of the first, like, young gay couple on TV because the characters were, like, 13. I don't know how old the actors were. I think they were, like, 14. They looked like they were 14. I think I could be wrong, but yeah. They kissed in one of the episodes. I think it was in season 2 or 3. And they made history because, like, they literally, like I said earlier, were, like, one of the first LGBT couples in a younger demographic on television, something that hadn't really been seen before. So it was really inspiring to a lot of people. And so that's what made me think about it. That's what made me... God, I am just sucking at this. I am so sorry. I am sucking today. But I thought about that when I was watching last night's episode of Chucky when we had that scene between Jake and Devon. And I was like, you know what? Well, this reminds me of Live Foster with Jude and Connor. They're like, I feel like that probably, like, helped pave the way for this. Like, the Fosters helped pave the way for this kind of thing. And I gotta admit, Zachary Arthur, who plays Jake, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this boy's name because I can't. I've spent all day trying to figure out how to pronounce this guy's name. The guy who plays Devon is like... Harvin? Can't pronounce it. It's a very interesting name, but I can't pronounce it, and I can't find anywhere online that for anyone who can pronounce it. So his last name is Anarson, so I'm just gonna say Anarson. I'm sorry if you're watching this video. You probably aren't, but I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name. But anyway, Zachary and Anarson are killing it. Like I said, they're both like 15, and they are killing it. Like, I'm really reading chemistry between the two characters. These actors are amazing. All the actors on the show are amazing. They're all pretty good. But, like, some of the examples of LGBT community in, like, horror movies are, like I said, not that well known. Like, some of the ones I thought about that I wrote down, like, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 with the character of Jesse. If you haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street 2, again, spoiler. The character Jesse he's implied to be in the closet, but if you don't really, like, pay attention, you kind of miss it. like, it kind of like, it's not as obvious as you would think it would be. Like, when I first watched it, I didn't catch that. It wasn't until later on like, I was reading interviews or, like, looking up facts about the movie that the actor who played him made that comment. I was like, huh? So I went back and watch it, like, oh, okay, yeah, now I see it. It's kind of like, if you don't really pay attention that well, you're gonna miss it. It has, like, a few subtle hints, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing with my hands. I'm talking with my hands again. I hate that. Anyway, some other examples are, what's that movie called again? Fear Street. If you watch the Fear Street trailer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, the film, the main character is a lesbian, and we find out in, like, the third film, spoiler alert, that one of the other main characters who everyone's talking about, Sarah Fear, was a lesbian. So, like, again, you see more, or that's another example of, like, LGBT people being the lead characters and the main survivors of horror movies. Jennifer's Body, which, a good film, it has, I believe, a bisexual subtext because, like, you know, it's implied that Jennifer and, what is her name? It's the character that Amanda Seyfried plays. Dang it. I can remember the last name, but I can't remember the first name. But like I said, I can't remember the last name, but it's whatever. But basically, it's implied that these two characters are, you know, have feelings for each other, and there's a whole makeout scene. I'm sorry, I'm a teenage boy. You gotta forgive me. But yeah, there was that scene between them in the bedroom when they were making out. That the whole subtitle. I can't talk at all, and I am so sorry. That whole scene where it's implied that, you know, they have feelings for each other, and it's all well done. Another example is Babadook. I've not seen Babadook, but I've heard that he's a gay icon. Don't ask me how. Maybe once I watch the film, I'll understand that. But until then, I'm just confused because it looks like a monster in a hat. That's literally all he is. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Sleepaway Camp with the main character being, I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna spoil that. Sleepaway Camp is another good classic horror movie that y'all need to watch. And I'm not gonna say anything because it just spoils the entire freaking movie. It's probably one of the biggest plot twists in history of horror movies, in my defense. So yeah, I'm not gonna spoil that for you. No. You gotta watch the film to find that out. You're just gonna, and then, you know, another example is Seed of Chucky, with the character of Glenn/Glenda being gender fluid, which they referenced in what was it, the second episode of Chucky? Yeah, that entire scene between Chucky and Jake when he was talking about Glenn, I was like, yes! Oh my god. Loved it. History in the making, y'all. But yeah, I really like how they are, oh my god, I'm just gonna hurt in this. In closing, into the whole LGBT talking point, I love how they're incorporated in the show. Love the diversity with it. It's all good and fun. Alright, just two more things and I'll wrap this up real quickly. Like, where I think the show is going. Okay, so, honestly, I feel like if I draw, it helps me think better. Alright, so where I think the show is going with only, like, a couple of episodes left, like I said earlier, 3 episodes left, I think they have so much planned, but because of the fact they don't know how much time left, and the show's only an hour, they probably won't get as much done as they want. So they're probably gonna have to end the show on a cliffhanger, which is going to suck if they do, because I'm going to be left. Sorry, a little migraine went over me for a second. I don't know what that was. That's gonna leave me wanting more answers, and I am a very impatient person. So I mean, I already waited a whole year or two for the Chucky show to come out, so yeah, I did not do good during that time. But yeah, I feel like that's where it's going. Like, they're probably going to end it on a cliffhanger, or it's going to be something that's going to, like, you know, make us come back for another season if they do another season. So, yeah, and I feel like they're going to try to dive more into Chucky's past in the next couple of episodes, because we've already, like I said before, we've already seen him back when he was a little kid, when he was a teenager, now as an adult. We've seen how he's met Tiffany and how that whole thing went on. So yeah, I feel like they're gonna try to dive more, and they're probably gonna dive more into, like, you know, the character development of, like, you know, certain characters like Junior and Lexi and Jake and Devin, all of them, while at the same time trying to deliver a bit of slasher fun for the audience to enjoy. And also we have, like, next week we're bringing back, you know, Andy Barkley from, like, the first 3 movies, and Kyle from the second film. You know, they're gonna be involved now. I'm really interested in how they're gonna handle introducing Andy's character into this show, because of the fact that, like, the last time we saw him was in Call of Chucky, and he was being locked up in that insane asylum. So I'm happy that apparently he's gonna be free, and that him and Kyle are teaming up, because that's the dream team right there. Honestly, that was probably my favorite, like, parts of Child's Play 2. Little side note was, like, the Kyle and Andy, like, you know, dynamic. I always thought that was cool. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like that's where the show's going. I feel like they're gonna like build up on, like, the character development, the slasherness, and more of Chucky's origin stories. Yeah. All right, this is the final thing I'm talking about, and then I'm gonna end this very cringy, very crappy, very poorly done video. And I'm gonna try to edit it because I accidentally messed up earlier and hit end, so this is like a second video that I'm gonna have to clip into the first one. So yeah, wish me luck on that. My predictions for the future episodes. Let's go. Okay, so basically, I have them written down, so I won't be stuttering, hopefully, or tripping with my words. Okay, so my first prediction is I think that Chucky is going to probably possess one of the main characters. I don't want that to happen because it will break up the budding relationships of all these characters that are going on right now. But I feel like that's going to happen, and I have a very sneaking suspicion it's probably going to be Devon he possesses, which is going to break my heart, because Jake is going to be devastated. And I'm not going to let, little side note, Jake is my son. I've officially adopted this boy. He needs a better father. I'm going to be that better father. Like, I promise you, if my child does not look like Jake in the future, I just can't. I just can't. Like, honestly, and not gonna lie, I also feel like me and Jake have the very same sense of style. Cause I'm pretty sure he wears like this. He wears the same type of, like, flannel shirt over, like, a black shirt. And I'm pretty sure I've worn that multiple times. Probably need to update my wardrobe. Yeah, I probably need to update my wardrobe. If you go in my closet, it's nothing but dark upon dark upon dark upon dark, with a few light colors. And half those times, those light colors are blended into black. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, like I said, I want a child like Jake, because Jake is freaking amazing. But anyway, yeah. Second prediction is I think Nika and Chucky are going to battle for Nika's body. Like, I feel like because of the last episode, we see, you know, Nika being able to break through, and then, like, Chucky being able to take over. I feel like they're gonna have a battle for Nika's body, and hopefully Nika will come out on top, but you never know. All right. Second, I feel like it's gonna end, like I said earlier, on a cliffhanger, and it might continue on to next season. Again, if it does that, it will leave me wanting more, but at the same time, it's going to suck, because then we're gonna have to wait till next season to find out. And if they don't renew the show, then we're not gonna get any answers. It's crazy. All right, now here's the thing. One of my predictions is if it doesn't get renewed for season 2, it may become. Wait, no, there I go again, messing up. I'm reading off paper and I still managed to mess up. Okay, I'm sorry. If it does get renewed for season 2, I have a feeling that it may go on as an anthology series, but like a different season revolving around Chucky, but in a different place with different characters and a different plot going on. Hopefully they don't do that, because like I really like where we are right now with the characters, so hopefully we can like continue on with their stories just for a few bit, and then maybe we can branch off into more different characters done with Chucky. But right now I like our main core cast, the main core cast. Alright, and my final prediction is I think we will see Glenn and Glenda again in this season, because like after that brief little mention in season 2, in episode 2, I feel like that was like a little like, not that we might see them again. If not, hopefully we will see them in season 2, because honestly I would love to see what those two are up to now. Honestly, I want to. It's a whole thing. I'm mainly excited to see more of Tiffany, but that's just me. Okay, so this video is complete crap, and I am sorry about that. If you want to dislike this video, you are more than welcome to. I promise you I'm going to dislike this video, but it's whatever. Hopefully I'll get better at this over time. Probably next video I'll just be talking about random stuff, just venting, vlogging, doing whatever. I don't know, this just seems like something I could do to pass the time, so. And I don't need like a fancy equipment set to like record. I can just set it up on my phone and just upload it to YouTube, so yeah. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll have more for you to watch in the future. If you like it, you can hit the like button, you can subscribe, hit that bell so you'll be notified when I post again. I don't know when I'm going to post again, maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks, maybe tomorrow if I feel like it. I don't know. So, yeah, just hope you enjoyed the video, and peace.